Hello, and welcome back to Life Classroom, the podcast that feels like a close friend, sitting right next to you on the days life gives you its toughest lessons. There's one subject in the curriculum of life that it seems we all have to enroll in, again and again. And it's a course for which no textbook can ever truly prepare you. That subject is love. Most of us grew up with fairy tales, romantic movies, and love songs that painted a beautiful, perfect picture of what love should be. We all have a kind of movie script in our minds, how the romance should unfold, how the grand gestures should look, and how it should all lead to a happily ever after. But in the real-life classroom, those scripts are often torn up without any warning. Today, we're going to talk about that moment, the moment when love doesn't go as planned. Maybe it's the experience of having to let go of someone you love. Maybe it's the pain of one-sided affection. Or maybe it's waking up one day to realize the person walking beside you isn't the one who will finish the journey with you. The pain of heartbreak and disappointment is a strange kind of pain, isn't it? There are no visible wounds, no broken bones, but on the inside, it feels like you've shattered into a million pieces. Today, we're not going to look for a magical way to forget. Instead, we're going to learn how to sit with this feeling with understanding, how to harvest priceless lessons from the wreckage of a broken heart, and how to come back to loving ourselves stronger than ever before.
The very first moment you know a love story is over, for whatever reason, it feels like a physical blow. A lump forms in your throat, it's hard to breathe, your mind goes blank, and your heart feels like it's being squeezed into dust. The very first thing I want to invite you to do in this lesson is this: give yourself full permission to feel the pain. Society often rushes us, telling us to move on quickly, to be strong, to not be so dramatic. But sometimes those words feel like someone clamping a hand over your mouth when you need to scream. Forcing yourself to pretend you're okay doesn't make the pain disappear. It just shoves it under the rug, where it waits to trip you up on a day when you're at your most vulnerable. So, if you are in this moment right now, cry it out. Listen to that sad song on repeat until you can't anymore. Write down everything you're feeling. Talk to a trusted friend who will truly listen. The process of grieving the loss of a relationship is just as valid and necessary as grieving the loss of anything or anyone else you have loved. And during this fragile time, there is one very dangerous mental trap we can fall into. It's the act of tying our self-worth to the failure of this relationship. A voice in our head starts to whisper, "Wasn't I good enough? If I were prettier or smarter, they would have stayed. I'm never going to find love again." These thoughts are the most potent poison. Today, I want you to repeat this truth to yourself, out loud if you need to. The end of this relationship does not in any way decrease my value as a person. The fact that someone was unable to love you in the way you need to be loved is not a measure of your lovability. It is simply an indication that we were not a match, or we wanted different things. That is all. Imagine a beautiful ceramic vase that has fallen and shattered. In this first stage, your job is not to frantically try to glue the sharp, painful pieces back together. Your job is to simply acknowledge the vase is truly broken. Your job is to sit beside it gently and give yourself time to understand the reality of what's in front of you before you can even begin to think about what to do with the pieces.
After you've given yourself time to sit with the sadness and the emotional storm has started to calm, it's time to shift your role. You are no longer the victim of this heartbreak. You are now the explorer. We're going to revisit the old diary of this relationship, not to long for the past or to assign blame, but to extract the lessons that will help us grow and understand ourselves more deeply. Every relationship, no matter how it ends, is like a giant mirror, reflecting parts of ourselves that we might never have seen otherwise. Find a quiet moment and gently ask yourself these questions. What did this relationship teach me about my true needs? Maybe you discovered that what you truly crave isn't just passion, but a deep sense of security and safety. Or perhaps you realized you need more personal space and independence than you thought. Understanding your core needs will help you communicate them much more clearly in the future. What did I learn about my own boundaries? Was there any behavior from them that you accepted, even though deep down it didn't feel right? Maybe it was disrespectful language, broken promises, or a dismissal of your feelings. This painful ending might be the loudest alarm bell, telling you exactly where your boundaries are and reminding you that you must never let anyone cross them again. Were there any red flags that I might have chosen to ignore? This question isn't meant to make you feel guilty or to say, I should have known better. It's meant to help you sharpen your intuition for the future. Love can sometimes make us overlook things, but looking back with a clear head can help you recognize patterns to be more mindful of next time. In the best moments of the relationship, what version of myself did I like the most? Don't just focus on the bad. Think about the happy times and ask yourself, who was I then? Maybe you were more courageous, more gentle, or more authentically yourself. Remembering that best version of you is a reminder that the relationship also brought good things and that you are capable of being that person again, all on your own. This kind of reflection isn't about finding a scapegoat. It's about shifting from being a victim of fate to being an active student of life. We are turning our pain into wisdom so that we don't trip over the same stone twice.
And now we arrive at the most important lesson of all. What happens next? After the tears have dried, after the reflection is done, how do we move forward? The simplest, yet most powerful answer is we return to ourselves. The phrase self-love can sometimes sound like a fluffy, overused cliché, but in this context, it is the only true medicine. And self-love here is an action. Come back to caring for your home. And by home, I mean your body and mind. Eat good food. Get enough sleep. Go outside and feel the sun on your skin. Move your body and break a sweat. Taking care of your physical self sends a powerful signal to your brain and heart. You are still important. I will take care of you. Reconnect with your world. Before this relationship, you had a whole world that was your own, right? Friends you haven't seen, hobbies you let go of, personal goals you put on pause. This is a golden opportunity to become the main character in your own story again. Fulfilling your own life and creating your own happiness is the strongest foundation you can build. Redefine love in a more mature way. Maybe the fairy tales got it wrong. Maybe love isn't about finding your other half to complete you. Maybe true love is when two whole people choose to walk alongside each other, sharing their completeness. This shift in perspective stops you from chasing someone to fill a void and instead turns you into a magnetic person who is ready for a healthy, wonderful love. And the final scariest question, how can I ever dare to open my heart again? The truth is, there's no guarantee you won't get hurt again. Opening your heart to someone will always be a risk, but you are not the same person you were before the love story. You are a graduate of this difficult lesson. You have sharper intuition, clearer boundaries, and most importantly, you now know that even if you fall again, you have the strength to pick yourself back up. This comeback isn't about returning to the person you were before the love story. It's about becoming someone new. It's like the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired by mending the cracks with gold. The cracks aren't hidden, they are highlighted, becoming a beautiful and celebrated part of the object's history. Your heartbreak is the same. It will become the golden seams that make your heart even more beautiful and resilient than before.
We've now reached the end of our session in the Life Classroom today. We've walked together through the valley of heartbreak, learned to embrace our sorrows, find our lessons, and lay the foundation to love ourselves once more. To anyone listening with a bruised and tender heart, I want to say this. The pain you are feeling right now is real and it is immense. But please, trust me when I say it is not permanent. Every storm passes, and when it does, the sky is always clearer and brighter than before. This love that ended was not a failure. It was a mandatory course that allowed you to meet the deepest parts of your own heart. It has forced you to grow in ways you never would have if this story hadn't happened. Be grateful for the love that once made your world bright, and be grateful for the pain that is now making you strong. And one day, when you are ready, you will be able to open your heart to love again. Not from a place of needing to be completed, but from a place of being ready to share the wonderful fullness of who you are. Thank you for spending time in this fragile but beautiful classroom with me. I'll see you again in our next episode, right here at the Life Classroom. Until then, take good care.